much. Good morning, heart and soul. Welcome. It occurred to me, if you're here early enough, you participate in our welcome. And we do our best to acknowledge when there's a first timer, someone who is at Heart and Soul Center of Light for the very first time, online or certainly in person. And so what I'm revealing to those who have just arrived and those who are online is there is an individual who is in the room. And so early on in our welcoming, our intention is that we extend our hands as an extension of our hearts. And so it's our way of welcoming. And a part of our welcome includes the line very early on of, "We know who you are." And sometimes we say it with such enthusiasm that the individual might go, "What are y'all doing in here?" And so I simply want to say that the intention of that is that we recognize you as a kindred spirit, as a child of God, as a divine presence, that we see the presence of the divine in you. Now, that was shorthand. This idea of, "We know who you are," is shorthand for, pardon me, is shorthand for, "We love and appreciate you." So my prayer is that that's how it's been received, rather than one wanting to grab one's handbag and make sure that no more of their personal information is revealed. Oh my goodness, this morning. Isn't this a wonderful day? And look, I am already, we're just about a month out, because today is, thank you, the 12th, she said, looking. I'm still working out time and dates, just so you know. So we are just over a month out from our anniversary celebration. Now, on November 2nd, which is less than a month out, we will be celebrating right here in the sanctuary because it is our 16th anniversary. Somebody ought to say amen. Yeah, I hear Suzette saying sweet 16, and I'm going to affirm that because I know the power in affirmation. And it's been a trek. It's been a trek because 3 to 4 of those years were under some of the most difficult and confusing circumstances. Just to be clear, just to be transparent, and they were hard for us because there was absolutely no one who had experience of church during a pandemic when it's all closed down, all of the things. So, Sweet 16, I'm working on that. I really am. But look, there's so much excitement. We are, on that Sunday, we will have our 16th anniversary choir in place. And you heard the announcement earlier, I hope, that it's not too late for you to join. All right, so they have not tomorrow, but the following Monday and the Monday after that is when the choir rehearsal will be. And you could even reach out directly to Valerie Trout and get the information, or if you know someone else who's already in the choir. But what I know for sure is they are having a good time, because every now and then she'll send me a little audio, and I'm like, yes! So, and this is just the beginning for us. What will also happen then on the 15th is here we go. On the 15th is Saturday, the 15th of November, will be our anniversary celebration. And it will be, let me tell you just a little bit about this. Our 16th anniversary celebration pays homage to the rich influence of Black artists in American musical theater. This is so heart and soul as far as I'm concerned, because we are always about the excavation of truth and then presenting it in ways where it's beneficial, where it's illuminating, where it's encouraging. So, we will feature songs from several iconic Black Broadway musicals. We begin with the Higher Sisters, who most of us are not aware of. Two Black women who grew up in Sacramento. And so some of their story will be shared with you. They performed at a time when minstrelsy was the norm. These two African American sisters dared to produce works where African Americans played themselves truthfully and powerfully on their own terms, speaking to the plight of the enslaved and the joy of emancipation. One of their pieces, Out of Bondage, was produced and performed in 1877. I just want to timestamp it for you so you have a good sense of what we're talking about. Their legacy laid in the foundation of what we now know as American musical theater and lives on in every note, lyric, and voice that continues to carry the melody of liberation forward. Our celebration comes at a time when our communities are navigating profound socio-political upheaval. In this climate, we demonstrate the celebration of spirit that is unbroken, not simply resilient, but endeavoring to be continually generative, visionary, and whole. By gathering in shared reverence for the sacred role of art in shaping consciousness, telling our truths, and imagining the world we seek to build, I invite you to join us for Unbroken, for the love of the music. So you see, that's what we're up to. So it's a celebration. It's bound to be edutaining. We'll have a good time. There'll be music, amazing voices, and you can see that there's an early bird price. Now, there's an early bird price because we don't want to leave anybody out. It's $25. If you are able, there may be someone who could benefit from a scholarship, if you will. So if you can do that, please go in and just get the ticket and let us know it's available. Like, you may live elsewhere, but want to support it in that way. The regular general admission price is $30 and asterisk, and we'll be requesting a love offering during the event. And for VIP seating, which is the first 2 rows, and possibly, depending upon the response, we may expand the seats from there, but it will be the closest seats available will be the VIP seating, at $50 per ticket. Yes? Yeah. So look, part of you, even our anniversary celebration on the 15th. All the music, the narrative, all of that rolls into what we endeavor to do all the time, which is produce truth teaching, share truth teaching in a way that makes sense to us, in a way that we can incorporate in our own lives. Sometimes I feel like I am literally talking to, my tribe. I feel like y'all understand what I'm talking about, why I'm talking about it, etc. So last week I was here, and I was asking you, which comes first? Do you believe it to see it, or do you see it to believe it? And we had a time working with that. Today, though, I'm still tagging back to that, if you will, but I'm also bringing forth this notion of imagine it and feel it. And I'm offering you this as a metaphysical practice of manifestation. imagine it, and feel it. Yes? These are key to the process. So even if yes was not on the tip of your tongue, just know that I'm willing to do the work to clarify what it is that I'm talking about with this. Yes? So today we'll take steps toward forming belief. We're going to take a step back, literally, to see, so how do we form our beliefs? Last week, we explored how consciousness, well, we've continued. I've been on a serial message around how consciousness shapes our reality. But last week, it was specifically the bite-sized piece of believe it or see it. Kind of, where are you in that? And now we'll focus on the creative power of imagination and feeling. It is the juice. If you get this part, you'll have it. Because it's about, there's not a person that shows up in life who doesn't have a vision or an intention of manifestation. No, that's not true. They may not even have an intention. It may not have expanded or evolved to be an intention, a full intention. Everybody wants something, is the way I would put it. Everybody wants something. And often we don't understand the law of manifestation because it always works the same. So there are some things that I want to share with you that are this combination of mental imagery and the felt experience and how that sets the law in motion. We're doing it. It's all an inside job, yes? Yes. Okay, so look, that's what we're going to be talking about. And so this first song is such a gift to us this morning. And let me just say, y'all need to get in here because stuff sounds different online than it does right here where you rocking and rolling with it. I'm just saying, we do our best, and it's not about the quality of our sound. It's just simply that live is, y'all know that. Being at the concert is different than watching it on YouTube. So the ensemble is offering us If I Had a Hammer. And sometimes I feel like that as a speaker here. If I had a way to deliver this truth in a way that could be transformative, I would do just that. So here's the deal. We all have a song to sing. It's the hammer of justice. It's the bell of freedom. It's the song about love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Heart and Soul Ensemble under the direction of Brannis McKenzie.
Sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out love between my mothers and my brothers. Over this land. Well, I've got a hammer and I've got a bell and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, the bell of freedom, a song about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Yeah, justice, bell of freedom, song about love, all over this land, all over this land, all over this land. You know I love to ask you to join us. All over this land. Let us know that it's all over this land. All over this land. All over this land.
Ashe. This is where the church says amen. Yes? Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. If I had a hammer. And the truth is, we do. We have a hammer. We have a song. We have an affirmation. We have a declaration. We have a way, and some would say a responsibility, to share, to ring it out, to declare, to know, and to act in ways that make a difference. I know that we are living in a time where, when I say now this is an adventure in faith, it used to be when we first declared that as our affirmation, as our theme, some years ago. You know, some folks, if they weren't a part of Heart and Soul, they weren't necessarily getting it. Right now, everybody gets it. Would it be okay if I just establish that? This is an adventure. Yes. Yes, just from all walks and all corners, just everybody understands it now in their own way in terms of what is showing up for us. So we are addressing this adventure in faith from the inside out. Does that make sense? Because often the world at large, if you will, often invites us to stand in a clearer awareness of the external. So we are well-versed, often too well-versed, on what he, she, them, everybody else is doing, and how that's impacting us. And I'm not here to say whether that is true or not, whether that's factual or not. What I'm saying is that your focus is more beneficial when it's an inner look, when you are working to discern, how am I in this? What am I believing about this? How am I responding to it? Often reacting is a better way to describe it. What am I thinking about this? What am I declaring that I know about this? How am I using this in my life? Am I allowing this to traumatize me? Am I using it as fodder? Am I growing from it? Am I using it as an aha moment? Or a moment that has me in fetal position until further notice? It's sometimes we fail to comprehend as quickly as is most beneficial the benefit of going through this process. The benefit of realizing, wait, hold it. They didn't do anything to me. Or even, can I just be real? Sometimes the truth is, I don't even know what really happened. Is it okay if we just, we're right here, y'all, and if you're tuned, lean in close. Because sometimes the truth is, you don't really know what they said. You don't know what that look meant. You've made some stuff up. But if you had to swear under oath, and it was a moment of honesty, you really don't know what happened. Something happened, and it involved you, and you reacted to it, and now you are way down the road. But if I say, come on, back up. Let's get here to the point of origin. Sometimes we can't even find it. Show me where it started. And we don't know because it's a mindset. Where it exists is in our mind. We have fixated it. Dare I say it's in our imagination? I mean no offense with this. This is not me challenging you that what you think happened, what you said happened. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying what serves you most. What will get you to where you want to be around it? And I'm not trying to rush you. You may not be ready to even consider it in this way. But bookmark this talk. Because it'll be there for you at a moment when you say, you know what? What if it's not exactly what I think? What if their intention was not what I've said it is? What if the sequence of events were not at all the way I've laid them out? It's a what if opportunity, isn't it? I'm going to invite you to do some what ifing. As stuff comes up, before you lock it down like I know exactly what they meant. What if I don't? I may be close, but what if I don't know exactly what they meant? And if I don't know exactly what they meant, then I don't know what they meant. Is it? I can be that plain with y'all, yes? Okay. All right, because if we can't, no point in us, continuing down this road because I only got more. Because I love that I'm speaking out of this movement song. If I had a hammer, it's a if I coulda, aren't we there often? If I coulda, I woulda. I'm here today to say come on, help a sister out. I'm here to say, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can, and I'm going to support you in that. Now, I have been in this series I've been playing with one of my favorite Anita Baker songs is Fairy Tale. And part of the lyric, I want to launch this, and I know that, a huge part of, at the core of my being, I'm a trainer. Did corporate training, did it in my household. I was always the one to be the teacher. Didn't want to play house much, but school, absolutely sign me up. We did lots of that. And this idea is repetition. And so the notion that I want to bring before you is that point in time where the evolution becomes obvious, your personal evolution becomes obvious to you. It's in a moment, you got to pay attention. There's a moment when you realize. It's that moment that I think she's singing about in the song. Now, the subject of the song, don't worry about that. I'm setting a new context for you. There's a moment when you can realize your fantasy is over. I don't know what they meant. I don't know what they said. I don't know what that look meant. Even though I'm like, she's looking at me. She's looking at me like oh, y'all gonna act like you don't never, is this what we gonna do today? We gonna pretend like I'm the only one. No, we not. Come on, I feel y'all at home. Yeah, you gonna be honest with me, like, yeah, that's how we do. And the truth is, none of us have even taken the course on body language. We have not studied it, and we just have become. And so there's that moment where we say to ourselves, my fantasy is over. My life, the true living of my life, outside of my fears and my doubts and my guilt and my shame and my blame and all of that, my life must now begin. I love this line. The story ends as stories do. That's how it goes. We're going to go through whatever phase. Let it end. Let it end. My reality steps into view. And I'm using the small r for reality, the lowercase, because it's your personal reality, the one that you're forever creating. I built this little model that helps us to see this idea of, first of all, there's divine reality, and within divine reality is all there is. When we say God is good, first of all, we don't usually mean that. We mean whatever this is that I'm discerning as God right now in this moment is good. But tomorrow, I may not even discern that same thing is good. And so we seldom are really approaching it from an open, continuous way of being. We kind of have this intermittent consciousness around God is good. Does that make sense? Yeah. Even to the chorus all the time. We mean when I decide it is. When it works out just the way I wanted it to. Even if it wasn't for my highest, now I'm start to meddle, right? So look, are you looking at, do you have let's put the chart up, this image, this diagram, this model, if you will, that I am declaring is the unseen power within you. It's the way your emotions and feelings and your thoughts and your attitudes and your beliefs and your perceptions and your reactions and responses coalesce into your current and maybe desired reality. All of which sits within divine reality, which is the all in all. So the good news in that, for those of you who are discerning, is that you can choose again. You can choose more broadly. Your choices that you've made all sit within divine reality, which is infinite in its possibilities. So it means that whatever choice you've made, and what's the axiom? You make your bed, you got to lie in it? No, you don't. No, you don't. Get on up. You know the story of the man by the pool by Bethesda? He didn't even take that thing with him. Y'all feel like you got to move the mattress and save the linens and all of that. He just got up. And appropriately got up and like, that ain't even mine. If that's not a bed you want to lie in, if that's not a bed that represents you currently, this would be the one time when the preacher says it's okay to say it ain't even yours no more. But that means you can't go back and claim it. Now, you can't have it both ways. You can't walk out denying it's yours and then want to claim it next week and be mad that somebody else got it and it's working for them. You know, I'm not necessarily talking about beds. I'm just saying. Okay, so look, this idea of the unseen power within you, the way that I've laid it out here, it's to show you that it's all about your inner workings, the way you are processing whatever it is you think is up. Does that make sense? Yes. All right. You know, wow. Well, let me say this. This morning, I needed to change it because in working with imagination and feeling today, the change that I made is on the line where we were focusing on perception. If you'll click to the next, it's now I'm adding perception, and so it's my perceptions and my imaginings, if that makes sense, form the manifestation of my current and desired reality. Yes? Okay, so I appreciate the 4 people that get it. And I'm counting on y'all to help the other people. So look, I'm introducing imagination in this context. And when I think about imagination and the best teacher, I always go to Neville Goddard, because his work is grounded in imagination and in feeling, in the emotional piece of it. Science of mind, although it also supports his thesis, it relies more and focuses more on mind, on the mental. And that's essential. It's just that there's not a thought that you're going to have that's going to manifest if you don't have a feeling that matches it. Okay, so there's a whole group that get it. Let me work with the rest. Look, that no matter how grand the thought is, no matter how clear it is, how well written it is in your journal, if there's not a feeling that matches it in intensity, it's not coming for you. And I'm not clear that if we're just rocking with Ernest Holmes' thesis, I feel like that combination is so important, because they both are putting forth at the front of their teaching, they are putting forth key aspects that you got to know. But if you are left thinking somehow that you're going to think your way into it and keep feeling like you've been feeling, think again. Think again. You must have a matching feeling about it. And imagination, when we speak of imagination, when we think about imagination, I think we feel it in there, don't we? When we imagine something, it's incumbent with a level of feeling. That's how you know oh, that would be nice. And then we could, what if if we did that first, then I don't know how you imagine without the feeling. If you're imagining without the feeling, you're doing what? You're thinking. If you're imagining, though, some feeling tone is already in there. So look, imagination, as I'm presenting it here, is the bridge between spirit and form. Does that make sense? It's how invisible ideas come into visible reality. You must see it first. You must not just, the see that I'm talking about is imagining it. So you see it in the colors. You can't, those of us who imagine well, somebody has to bring us out of our imagination. Because we end up someplace else. Right now, if we went through an activity, a process where I invited you to imagine, now some of y'all wouldn't go nowhere. You'd be right there in your thoughts. But some we'd have to shake and get back in the room. Because they would be imagining themselves wherever the guidance took them. Can you feel that distinction? Okay. So if you can feel it so that it's so real to you that you are there, oh, you're on the verge of something happening. Now, it's not happening well, yes, it is. It's happening immediately. It's just that you have to match it with your mental, emotional, and spiritual vibration to match it, so it takes whatever time it takes for you to get to the same vibration of it. But you're so on your way. You know, I feel like I want to fork my tongue to say, yeah, you're there. It's not going to manifest until you're it. So you're there, but you must be it. Yeah. Yes. Which is, vibrationally, it's different. I think that first feeling tone notifies us that we're on the right track. What we hold in imagination shapes our beliefs, our emotions, and therefore our experience of the world. This is why this is so important. Neville Goddard radically redefined imagination. This is what's very different about his work, as the very power of God within us. That's how he holds imagination. So some would say more daydream. And there are those at the level of psychology today that say that's important. But Neville takes it further. He says you may be daydreaming, but what you're doing is engaging the very power of God within. That's what you're doing. And that's the cause of all reality. So in your imagination, you are literally shifting your reality. Remember, your reality is within the divine reality. So if I were going to build a model, and I wouldn't know how to do it, but work with me as I'm building it right here. The model would be where you have within your reality, you've been imagining a different situation, circumstance. Somebody give me something that's on your wish list, on your vision board, something we're working with. Suzette.
The renovation of my house.
The renovation of your house. So you're beginning to, your house is however it is. You know what I mean? If you brought us photos and we put them up here on the slide, okay, I'm sorry, we're not going to do that. I'm just setting the stage, but her face says she's imagining. Her face told me she's imagining that if that were up there, that's how it was real. When I turned away from her to set it up, and when I look back, I'm like, oh no, we're not going to do it. You can stop imagining that. But that's how it works. We've just demonstrated how it works. That's it right there. So the model would help us to really get in a very concrete way that what's happening is that inside of me, it doesn't exist anywhere else. What exists are some photos of the way it is right now. And then in my mind, I have a vision of how I want it to be. So as I am engaging that vision, as I am in my imagining, the divine field of infinite possibility, which is the divine stuff out of which everything comes. It's vibrating. It's like there's a magnetic charge that's happening. Does it make sense if I say it that way? So here Suzette is in her mind imagining, it looks like this, but she's imagining it looking another way. And in this infinite field of divine possibility, there is a connection. If you could see it, it would begin to like sparkle. It would begin to spark. It would begin to light up with what's the word? With like a frequency, a pattern of light that would match what's being imagined. Can you feel that could be the case? So in your imagining is absolutely connected. You're not imagining in a vacuum. This is not like when we were kids and they'd like, cut that out. I need you to focus right here. You're in the creative mode. You're in the creative process. And the universe, divine activity is immediately responsive to that activity, to that energetic focus. Lord, I hope this is making sense. Neville says that our imagination is the cause of all that appears. Now, see what I want? I want to hang out with folks who are like, well, I don't know if that's true, but I'm getting ready to test it. Don't be up there, Rev, telling me stuff that you don't expect me to go home and test. Go home and test it. You know, that's how I came to religious science. I was gunning for Terry Cole Whitaker. Gunning for her. What? There's a power for good and I can use it for whatever? And don't nobody in my neighborhood notice? Nobody I grew up with. I was like, I'm getting ready to turn this place out. Where were we? Jack Tar Hotel in San Francisco, full of people. And I was like, she's here misleading these people? Oh, I'm going to get her. I thought, I'm getting ready to turn this out. I really thought, how dare she? Because we had all paid good money. And I thought, you getting ready to give all this money back when I finish. And I thought, but the only way to prove it is to do it. I can't come and they say, well, did you? Well, no, I didn't do it, but it didn't sound right. I thought, when I finish bringing my records, I'm getting ready to do this to the letter. Then what? And what else? And then what after that? I was doing absolutely everything. And absolutely everything on my vision board was manifest. Condo, car, travel, everything, everything. And so rather than gun for her, as it turned out, I started commuting to San Diego to study with her. Because I ain't crazy. What I'm offering that as my personal testimony. Because you don't have to come to this believing. But if you come willing to test it, to use your life, what's the worst that could happen? That's what I realized. What's the worst that could happen? I thought, I'm going to know whether this works. And if it don't work, Terry, there's not a place you can hide, girl. Right? But if it does work, we's good. It's on for us. So look, the creative process begins with an idea, and then its cycle runs its course as a feeling and ends in a volition to act. Sometimes we don't get that volition to act part so clear, because I already prayed about it. And I'm like, I need you to pray enough so that you have a volition to act. So that you have we're not teaching magic. We're decoding the mystery of how life gets to be the way it is. There's something, because you're already doing something. So it makes sense that you're going to have to do something different. So I don't know how doing got lost out of the equation. You're already doing something. And you want it to be, you want your outcome to be different. And you're thinking it's going to be different without you doing nothing. You're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to do something different. So look, ideas are impressed on the subconscious. This is Neville, pure Neville, through the medium of feeling. No idea can be impressed on the subconscious until it is felt. But once it's felt, whether it's good or bad or indifferent, he said, it absolutely must be expressed. Which is why sometimes we are left, I use my whiny voice when I do this. Why did that have to happen to me? What did I do? Well, you see, here's the answer. Here's the answer. I felt it enough so that I called it up into my experience. Now, look. If you are really stuck, you will see this as an opportunity to blame somebody. I'm going to invite you that if you're feeling like, but that's not fair and that's not, what should I refer you to? What is that, Matthew 25:29? That essentially translates to the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Where it's told after the parable of the talents is the way it's laid out. And it essentially is saying that, I'm trying to get the words because now I can see it, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. It's just standing down. But that's I'm just going to translate it that way. But the idea is about, we can translate, no. That's not what I'm here to talk about. What I want to share about that is that scripture in Matthew 25:29, I'm pretty sure, is talking about consciousness. If you have the consciousness that we're talking about, your life moves in that direction. And to an outsider looking, it just looks like you got it easy. You certainly have it easier than the one who doesn't. But if you don't have that consciousness, then it's saying that even that you get, that you hath, those that hath will have more. That's what it says. And those that don't have, that you happen to get is going to be taken from you. And it's by right of consciousness. There's no way you'll be able to keep it. Why? Because you don't have the feeling. You don't have the idea or the way of thinking. Not solidly. It's not that you didn't once think about winning the lotto. It's that you haven't bought a ticket lately. Does that make sense? Most of the people talking about winning don't even have a ticket. So it's not that that we haven't had ideas of abundance and prosperity. It's that they haven't been anchored in the feeling tone. You haven't been able to imagine yourself there. Sometimes in like workshops where you say, okay, so what would you do with that? And I'm like, you ain't gonna get it. Because you're not there. You don't have, and that's not to say, you just going to have to work with the way it came out. I was trying to fix it, but no, that's not what this is. So look. The idea here is that with whatever the idea, whatever the desire is, whatever you're thinking about would be wonderful to have or to be or to do, you must have the feeling that matches it. Not just matches it, that breathes life into that idea. Otherwise, it's one of many ideas. And we can't count the number of ideas you just had while I was talking. Well, I was saying that last sentence right there. Because ideas just come and go. It's the ones that you breathe life into, that you feel deeply about, that then express. Is this making sense? Yes. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. Ask me that again. What keeps us in what vibration?
You get into your feeling tone, like sometimes when I'm at my vision board, I am there.
Yes.
But then you're back in reality. Once I stop meditation, and I'm just like, I gotta stay in this vibration. I know that. And I'm assuming I'll breadcrumbs, but I don't know what you do.
Oh, that's so good. That's so juicy. Her question was, what keeps you in the vibration? And then she laid out how to get out of it. What she laid out for us, I hate that you, see, this is why you need to be here. This is why you need to be here, because can't nobody read. She not going to tell it again the way she told it, because I said that part right there, and I can't tell you. You should have been here. The essence of this is, how do you stay in the vibration? You don't do anything to take yourself out. Can you see that? That so much of our machination is taking ourselves out. It's thinking, beginning to entertain thoughts of, I heard in your example saying, when you're in front of your vision board, the questioner said, when I'm in front of my vision board, I'm there. Well, heck yeah, because you're focused on it. And then you set it up and then I move my focus, and I'm like, that's how you changed it. You must, in your conscious awareness, and you're not going to be conscious all the time. You just aren't. It's the human experience. But when you fall out, know you're out and get back in. Because it's going to happen. As a teenager, I took judo. And I've told y'all that before. It feels like the whole first year was falling down. You learn to throw and you learn to fall and get up. Because there is a way to fall. You hit the mat like bam, and then you pop up. And I'm like, well, when are we going to get to really do something? Because the first times you do that, you don't even get to throw nobody. You are just being thrown. And I didn't understand it until they started teaching some technique, and I realized that I was going to end up on the mat so much that I needed that year of learning how to fall and get up. The key to it is how to get up. So you're going to forget. What do you do with your little smartphones? Y'all have it doing some smart stuff sometimes. On your little smartphone, you know you're not going to remember the time of whatever, so you set a little alarm. Well, some of y'all do. Some of y'all just show up late. But for those who really have an intention of, am I telling the truth? Okay, we got to be able to have it like this if we're going to get somewhere. Yes? So look, you must set it. You see what your pattern is. Your pattern is when I'm in front of it, I'm good. So how can you be good from over here? That's like your job, because you know what good is. When I'm here, I'm like, oh, yes. Well, how do you get some of that over here? And then how do you get it over here? And then what about from way over here? It's you, because you know what it is. So how do you treasure that? How do you act like it matters? How do you treat it like it's key, like it's essential to what you're up to? It can't just be when you're in front of it, because that's just a time. It might be put it on your phone. And then there are those moments when I look at it, when I'm not just right in front of it. See, I don't know what it will take for individuals, but for years I had a binder. And then I realized at one point, where is that binder? But it's now within me. And my binder was to help me move from energy that was not productive. She's going to say that. She goes, put it that way. So that I could shift to energy that was more productive for me. So first of all, you got to know who you are and how you are. So that's part of the process. And then do what works for you. Be in a way that supports it working for you. I love that there's a vision board. The key is to move it from it being only in a location. Good. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign. And then we're going to talk some, if your speaker today had managed her time a little better. we would have gotten to some affirmations, but next time. But for right now, yes. Oh, look at here. Oh, see, we got the message for next week. Because it's right here. It's the stuff we didn't get to. So look, Brannis wrote a song, Let Love Reign. I need you to be with me for a moment, though, because as I said that, what did it mean to you? Let love reign. What is that reign? Yes, let it rule. Let it rule. Well, for some, it could be reign. Oh, let love reign all over my life, yes? And let it reign over my life. Whatever it is for you, work with it while they do this here. Let love reign, the Heart and Soul Ensemble.
Yeah, let love reign. Let love reign. Let love reign. Let love reign. Let it rain all over your life. Let it bring you back to yourself. Let it reach out farther than eyes can see. Let it be. Let it be. Yeah, let love reign. Let love reign. Let love reign. Come on. Let love reign. Let it rain all over your life. Let it bring you back to yourself. Let it reach out farther than eyes can see. Let it breathe. Let it be. Oh. Oh, let love reign. Let love reign. Let love reign. Let love reign. Let it rain all over your life. Let it bring you back to yourself.